Here we are. Live television. You work without a net. It is Tuesday, the 24th day of March 2020. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, on what has been a unthinkable last few weeks. It's amazing how things have changed in just a matter of weeks. And in the last 24 hours, as you know by now, last night, Governor Inslee issued a stay-at-home order. If you're not too sure what that means to you, as far as your job is concerned, obviously ask your employer. The complete list of what they're calling essential critical infrastructure workers, and that's a direct quote, that complete list as issued by the governor's office is available for you to look at right now on our website and on our Facebook page. It's 14 pages long. It's 13 different categories of those people who are considered essential. So they're expected to go to work, and among those, well, all of them actually, the categories, there's 13 of them, as I mentioned before: healthcare and public health, emergency services, food and agriculture, energy, water and wastewater, transportation and logistics, communications and information technology. That's us here in the media. Other community-based governmental operations and essential functions, whatever that may be. It's a pretty big umbrella, as you might imagine. Critical manufacturing, hazardous materials, financial services, chemical and defense industrial base. You are expected to go to work. Everybody else? It's amazing. There's no school. People are being asked not to go to work. Many businesses have shuttered their doors. In fact, a little shop talk before we go any further here on this Tuesday. First of all, our building, the NCW Life Channel building here on North Chelan, is closed to the public. Only those people who work within this building will be allowed to come into this building. And to that end, this show will continue as normal. The nightly news will continue as normal, but some of our other regularly scheduled and locally produced shows that you're so used to seeing here, many of those shows will be either on hiatus or we'll be running reruns. The idea is to limit the number of people who have to come into our facilities to actually do these shows. It's just common sense as far as Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The interview segments of this program, we're going to be scaling those back quite a bit. Whatever interviews we'll be holding, as long as the situation continues, I'm going to be conducting remotely via Skype. That's just simply the prudent way to do it. So life goes on here for the NCW Life Channel in a certain kind of way. Again, this show is going to remain on the air. The news is going to remain on the air. Some of the other shows that you're so used to seeing, new episodes will not be airing for a while yet. So I'm glad I got that out of the way. And again, if you want to see the complete list of what is considered by the government's office an essential critical infrastructure worker, go to our website. The list is right there. It's 14 pages long. So there we go. I wanted to get that out of the way. One of the many people and one of the many organizations that have been held back and pulled back from this coronavirus pandemic is the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center, which is one of the significant organizations here at the Wenatchee Valley. Going on right now at the museum is the Regional High School Art Show, only you can't go to it because the museum is closed. So last week we took a virtual tour. I sat down with Ashley Sinner, who's a regular contributor to this program, to talk about how the museum is dealing with this unforeseeable closure. And then we actually took a tour. We actually did the Regional High School Art Show. We walked around with Kasey, Koski, and we videotaped it. So we have a virtual tour of the Regional High School Art Show from the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center coming up in the back half of the hour. There's a lot to get to, but let's get going here at 4 minutes after the hour. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras. You'll notice it's a little bit cloudier today than it was yesterday. The sun is up. It got up at 6:54 this morning. It'll be hanging around until 7:20 this evening, 12 hours and 26 minutes of daylight. If you want some normalcy, yesterday was about as normal as you can get weather-wise for March 23rd. Monday's high was 55. Our normal high would be 56. Our low yesterday was 38. Our normal was 37. So pretty typical, except we're going to be slightly unsettled off and on. A little on the rainy side, perhaps, a little on the cooler side, a little bit of sunshine, some clouds, kind of a typical March weather pattern is coming our way. That's our view from the cross camera, looking over the Wenatchee Valley proper. And as I've noticed yesterday, as I run my essential errands, I'm trying to keep myself as homebound as I possibly can, but I still need to go out and take care of some things. Traffic is just unbelievably light everywhere. People are taking this seriously, as they should. Camera number 2. We're going to do a slow dissolve and take a look at what's going on up at the Rondo Rock camera, looking south. What a gorgeous view that is. The sun is bathing the Mission Ridge area and the foothills to the west and to the south of Wenatchee. Lots of snow up in Mission Ridge, but of course Mission Ridge is closed. That's Turtle Rock, which dominates your view there. Lake Antiat in the front of us. Eric's sports report is fishing. Eric loves to fish, and he and his lovely wife Marion did a little social distancing at Potholes over the weekend. It's a fascinating sports story. You'll enjoy that as we say good morning to our friends up the Arundel Rock camera number 3. Hello to Rock Island, is that correct? Yes. By the way, sports activities are part of the governor's orders. So unfortunately, golf is out. Golf courses are going to be closed indefinitely as we look down at the Rock Island Golf Course, the Columbia River, the Rock Island Reservoir, and the sun bathing the Stemilt Basin. And finally, camera number 4. Hello to Bill E. Goat, USA. We call that the Billy Goat camera, although I don't know why we call it the Billy Goat camera. I know there's a lot of goats in that area. That must be it. Of course, it's high above the Alta Lake State Park and the Alta Lake Golf Course. Of course, state parks are now a no-no, at least camping anyway, as we look at the Columbia River and the Met House emptying into the Columbia River. So we say good morning to our friends up in Okanagan County. Okanagan County, one of the few counties in the state that has not yet had a positive coronavirus result coming down. So they are so far in the clear. Of course, that's going to change. It's inevitable. So we say good morning to Pateros, Bridgeport, and Brewster on our tour around North Central Washington. All of those cameras, courtesy of Localtel Sky-Fi high-speed wireless. 7 minutes after the hour, the weather doesn't stop. So let's take a look at the weather from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They give your home a hug. This basically, weather in the word, unsettled is what we're going to be dealing with. Partly sunny skies today. We'll top off right around 55 degrees, but we do have about a 40% chance of some showers, light rain anyway, in the afternoon hours. No wind. We had quite a bit of wind at times yesterday. No wind today. So a mixture of clouds and sun. Some afternoon rain is a possibility, not a big deal. At that afternoon high, 55, just what we hit yesterday, just a degree or so below normal. Partly cloudy tonight, 32 for the overnight low. Sunshine for the most part on Wednesday, but cool temperatures for this time of the year, 53. We do it again on Thursday, and then another system pays us a visit come Friday. It'll start happening Thursday night. You'll see the clouds late afternoon Thursday into Thursday night begin to thicken up as it rolls in from the east, or from the west, I should say. Friday, lots of clouds, slightly warmer. No rain in the forecast Friday, just cloudy, and a high of 57. Next chance of showers will be on Saturday under mostly cloudy skies, right around 59 degrees. Maybe even some overnight snow on Friday night into Saturday. Light chance of that. Don't think that's going to happen. 50% chance of some light rain on Sunday. We're not talking about deluge. A little drizzle here, a little drizzle there. And lots of clouds Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So weather unsettled. Typical March weather, really. No surprises out there. No significant storm systems to concern yourselves with. Just kind of March weather. There you go. Outside of our studios, by the way, I'll check real quick. It's 34 degrees with high clouds. All right, to the major mountain passes we go. Most of them are reporting some light snow. That's a live shot of I-90. They have a traction tire advisory. It is snowing, but the roadway is mostly bare and wet. It's not snowing hard enough on Snoqualmie Pass for the snowflakes to stick to the roadway. That is not the case with Stevens, however. When we look at this camera, as you can see, the snow is sticking a little bit to Stevens Pass. It is snowing up there, snow and slush on the roadway. They do have a traction tire advisory on US 2. Nothing going on Blewett. It's partly cloudy. The roadway is bare and dry. You're good to go on Blewett. The forecast for the mountain passes today, just light snow, couple of inches of snow, tops on I-90, maybe 3 inches of snow expected throughout the course of the day on Stevens Pass. So they're going to get some light snow, nothing significant. As long as you got your traction tires on, you should be just fine. Again, traction tires are advised as we speak on Snoqualmie Pass. It is snowing, but you're dealing more with slush than snow on the roadway. Traction tires are advised on Stevens Pass, snow and slush on the roadway, especially right at the summit, with some light snow coming down, no snow coming down on Blewett Pass. And again, intermittent snow throughout the course of the day, and tonight just an inch or two here, inch or two there. So that is a look at your passes on this Tuesday morning. 10 minutes after the hour, going to take a break and come back with your latest local news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 1 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bobfile Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. When you want to escape from reality, make a Crown Line boat your choice of entertainment. Enjoy time with a friend in your socially distant boat. With low interest rates and lower gas prices, now's the time to buy. See Crown Line boats at Bobfile Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I-dos to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
High clouds, 34 degrees. Mixture of clouds and sun today. Some light rain this afternoon, a possibility. We'll top off right around 55 degrees. Here's what's making headlines on a busy Tuesday. First of all, the numbers as we have them now. Washington State has 2,221 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 110 deaths from the virus. That's according to figures released by the State Department of Health late yesterday afternoon. The vast majority of positive tests and deaths were made in King County, although the virus has reached almost every corner of the state. Hardest hit in our area, north central Washington, has been Grant County, with 23 positive tests and 1 death. 14 of those cases have been in Quincy, another 6 in Mattawa. Chelan County now has 6 confirmed cases, Douglas County with 1 confirmed case. Statewide, nobody under the age of 40 has yet been killed by the coronavirus. Half of the total deaths have been people aged 80 or older. Dr. Jason Lake will take over his new job as Confluence Health's Chief Medical Officer at a very challenging time, as you might imagine. Lake is transitioning into that role. Dr. Stu Freed is preparing to retire later on this year. He talked to our very own Jefferson Robbins about the resources Confluence Health can bring to bear during this coronavirus pandemic.
Dr. Freed and I are going through a transition period. His last day will be in August of this year. But really, we've been co-managing through this COVID-19 outbreak, and we continue to divide up the chief medical officer duties as we go through this transition period. But he's been a great mentor and has really taught me a lot through this process. We currently at Central Washington Hospital have 179 beds. About 20 of those beds are for obstetrics and pediatric care, and the remaining are typically for adult medicine and surgical cases and ICU cases. We have an additional 20 beds down at Wenatchee Valley Hospital. So we are in our contingency planning looking at ways to increase our bed capacity even upwards towards 300 patients should that be needed with this coronavirus crisis. We have not seen a sustained increase yet related to the coronavirus. Really, the key components of our personal protective equipment are masks, and here we're talking about the kind of regular surgical masks that just go around the ear and the more advanced N95 respirator masks. Also included in the category are face shields, gloves, and gowns, and we are currently in the process of finalizing the numbers of our current inventory of all of those pieces of PPE. We've already embarked on plans and procedures to conserve our PPE, and that's really making sure that we use all of that in very appropriate circumstances. In some cases, we can clean our PPE, such as the face shields, and reuse those. So our process is going to be to keep a continuous eye on our inventory moving forward, especially if the number of patients with coronavirus increases. That'll place a higher demand on our personal protective equipment. And thus far, we've worked very closely with the Chelan Douglas Health District to help get us some supplies, and we started talking this week about how to do further outreach with the community should we identify needs in any of those areas moving forward. We currently have 55 ventilators, including the ones that we have both here at Central Washington Hospital and the ones we have at Wenatchee Valley Hospital. Additionally, we have 40 disposable ventilators, which are really devices that can be hooked up to the standard oxygen supply in hospital rooms. Obviously, those are single use only, and we made the decision today to try to acquire 40 more of those. So we have a good capacity currently of ventilators. One of our main priorities is keeping our staff safe. So we follow very closely the guidelines of the World Health Organization, the Washington State Department of Health, and the Washington State Hospital Association regarding what personal protective equipment our staff should be wearing in certain different patient scenarios. So we do that, and we also monitor who comes into and out of our buildings. We really want to keep our facilities safe. So we screen all staff and visitors as well as providers coming into our building to make sure that they don't have any symptoms that could be suggestive of a coronavirus infection. We had one staff that got tested previously after an exposure with our prior coronavirus patient, and that staff ultimately tested negative. We do continue to test higher risk individuals at our emergency room here in Central Washington Hospital. We have the tent facility set up there, so if people do call our COVID hotline and meet these criteria for testing, they'll be appropriately referred to that location.
Of course, coronavirus spreads by in-person contact, and your doctors don't want to spread coronavirus around, which is why Confluence Health has now started virtual visits with its practitioners. Patients can phone in or video conference with their primary or specialty care providers. The video conference option requires a mobile device or a computer with both a camera and a microphone. You can get information about the service at confluencehealth.org/virtual visits. A new group called Together Wenatchee is taking proactive steps to help businesses and nonprofits being hit by the fallout of the COVID-19 outbreak. Two of the people behind the effort, Beth Stipe, who's the executive director of the Community Foundation of North Central Washington, and Peter Spadoni, who's a lawyer with JDSA Law here in Wenatchee, sat down with me to talk about what this group is trying to accomplish.
Right now, we have been working with a number of other organizations to launch a web presence and be a clearinghouse where businesses trying to survive and trying to assist their employees can reach out to us, and we can help find for them resources and advice and assistance, everything from just general advice to actual financial assistance, and put them in touch with and help provide those kind of benefits so that we can together survive and work through this crisis over the next weeks, months, that it will be in front of us.
You know, one of the reasons that we got together is that we want to make sure that we've got the nonprofit side of things covered as well as the for-profit side, because that is the breadth of our community. And so the Community Foundation has been working specifically in the nonprofit side of things and working with our nonprofit partners to understand what they're going through right now. We've had several of them who have had to cancel their big fundraising events. And those dollars haven't been replaced at this point. And so what is that going to mean? And, you know, the unfortunate or fortunate thing is that we've been through this less than a decade ago. And so from the Community Foundation's perspective, you know, our board sat down and said, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And so how are we going to change the way that we do business, look upon those lessons that we had in 2008, 9, and 10, and move forward with changing the way that we work so that we can help support the nonprofit side as well as the for-profit side, because they go hand in hand.
As you know, Pybus Public Market closed their main concourse to the public. They did that on Sunday. It's going to remain closed until at least April 1st. Executive Director Leslie Freitag said food-related businesses remain open. They're going to be serving customers through their exterior doors. Freitag said because Pybus is such a popular gathering place, it was time to take the next step to best protect employees and customers in the market. I'll be talking to Leslie Freitag, by the way, via Skype later on today. We'll have that conversation for you tomorrow. One non-COVID related story. A Wenatchee felon allegedly forged $5,900 worth of checks on a Kashmir man's bank account. Michael D Mcguire, 29 years old, faces possible charges of forgery, theft, and identity theft. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies said he wrote 6 fraudulent checks in November and deposited them into his own accounts. Mcguire has past convictions for theft, forgery, assault, and burglary in Pierce County. He's been in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center since March 12th. And that's a look at what's headlines on a very busy Tuesday at 20 minutes after the hour. As I mentioned before, this show will continue unabated, as will the evening news with Grant Olson. And with the preview, here is Grant.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, more local updates on the COVID-19 virus. Spring rain showers are a distinct possibility. I'll have your complete north central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will be in with an abbreviated look at sports. That and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. We appreciate it. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. Look at the bottom of your screen. Those are the tools we have given you to get a hold of us, and you are very good at that. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a line via Facebook Messenger. If you go to our website, ncwlife.com, first of all, you'll see that list, that 14-page list of what Governor Inslee is considering essential workers, so peruse that. Again, if you're not sure, contact your employer. It's the simplest thing to do, whether you need to be in work or not. The list is available on our website. You can also contact us via our website via the Contact Us icon, or you can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, it's official. The 2020 Olympics have been postponed. We'll have sports, all the stuff that you're used to, and my conversation in the back half of the hour with Ashley Sinner of the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center, plus a virtual tour of the Regional High School Art Show, because that's the only way you'll be able to see it, I'm afraid. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Tuesday edition on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Welcome back at 23 minutes after the hour. Sports is official now. Japan and the International Olympic Committee have agreed to postpone the Tokyo Olympics. They're going to hold them, they hope, in the summer of 2021. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said yesterday, or actually early this morning, Japan time, mounting pressure. And of course, the coronavirus pandemic forced that decision. That became essentially inevitable. He held a conference call with the International Olympic Committee. The president of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, agreed 100%. So it's official. The Tokyo Olympics will not be held in the year 2020. They are hoping to hold it in its entirety in the year 2021. It has been postponed, not canceled. Our very own Eric Granstrom was able to get out last weekend with his wife Marion, doing a little social distancing. He went fishing at Potholes Reservoir. Eric said the campgrounds, waterways filled with others, also trying to both get outdoors and get away from people.
Marion and I decided to do a little social separation and distancing and get ourselves out to Potholes Reservoir and see if we could catch some walleye this weekend. We camped and launched right off of Road M at the Lynn Coulee. Oh yeah, nice fish. Okay, need the net, babe. Nothing wrong with this. That's a good eater walleye right there.
Holy cow.
Yeah. It's been a long time between fish. This is only our second fish on of the day, and we're late in the afternoon now. We're fishing off of Medicare Beach. We saw a whole bunch of boats here. Figured there must be something going on. So But we've been here, what, an hour and a half? Something like that. But fish on here. So this one's got a good fight to it. I don't know. I'm seeing color already. That usually is an indicator of a good sized fish, and it is a good sized fish. Holy cow. Catch that one on camera. Holy cow. This is my biggest walleye ever.
You want me to help?
Nope.
Here, fishy. Oh. I'll take the pull.
Got it.
Oh, look at his excitement.
That's our weekend. Hopefully you're safe and sane wherever you are and get a little social distancing as well, maybe out on the water.
Yeah, if you enjoy outdoor activities, that's cool. You know, walking, hiking, bicycling, going out to the park. Just keep that 6-foot thing going. We all need fresh air. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, it's a good time to get out and stay healthy while still practicing social distancing. But what's going to happen next? Quick little run through here. The Chelan County PD, of course, has closed their parks. State lands are now closed to recreation and camping. The Lake Roosevelt National Recreation Area, they said they're going to remove all of their docks from the banks of the reservoir, and they'll be closing federal campgrounds and the restrooms there. So essentially, that puts a halt to a lot of fishing in the north central Washington area. The Department of Fish and Wildlife is expected to have clarification on fishing and hunting seasons sometime today after the governor's stay-home order last night. Seahawks have made their biggest splash yet. In free agency, they pulled off a trade with Washington. Seattle traded its 5th-round draft pick in this year's draft for cornerback Quinton Dunbar. Now, he was actually a wide receiver out of Florida, and Washington turned him into a defensive back. Dunbar had his best year last year. Was considered the 14th best coverage corner in the NFL. He comes to Seattle with a 1-year deal still on his contract, $3.3 million. Dunbar is expected to compete with Trey Flowers for the starting cornerback job with the Hawks. Here's a reminder of what's coming up in our broadcast schedule here, sports-wise, on the NCW Live channel. Joel Norman had the call from last April. That's when Eastmont took on the Eisenhower Cadets at Dan Whitefield. We'll have that game for you tonight at 7 o'clock. We got soccer at Wildcat Stadium on Thursday night at 7. We're going to re-air the Eastmont-Moses Lake game. And don't forget to watch throughout the weekend. We're going to bring you 5 Wenatchee Wild games over the weekend. And finally, we thought we'd take a look at others in the sports broadcast business who have nothing to do right now. Nick Heath is a freelance rugby commentator, and he went to his Twitter page to cover everyday life for events in London.
Well, you join me here live at Toosing Common, and well, this is the final of the Two Lonely Blokes in a Park contest, and whoa, that was absolutely terrible. That's what we've come to expect really from these two. They've been here for some time. A few runners in the distance, not keeping enough distance, frankly, and well, these two are utterly useless. Looking forward to the 3rd, 4th place playoff later. So this, the international 4x4 pushchair formation final, and well, we've got the up front pair, of course, so Johansson and Erickson from Sweden, and they're in with the Brits here in Smith and Black, and they're doing particularly well of staying quite close with them around this very delicate bend. Of course, they're pretty familiar with this course, and well, that's what saw them become European champions just a few months ago. Great to see them back. Crossroad dash, light turns to red. We wait for the beats. There they are now then. JD Sportsman, he's got a decent start. Leggings on the outside. Oh, JD Sportsman's been distracted over the shoulder, and Leggings is going to get there. Oh, she does it again. 3 titles in 3 days. Off past Vegas Gold for the lap of honour. Victorious. You join me live in a popular high street discount clothing store. This chap hoping to get a personal best in the Find a Fashion Bargain steeplechase. But this is one of the trickiest events in life because, of course, he's probably going to have to put up with, well, a dodgy zip, some curious stitching, certainly some odd proportions, something in navy, I think, there. Does he like it? Oh, it's got a whacking great big logo in the middle of it. Will he make do? Will he decide to go with it? Yes, it looks like he will. He will, and regret it later.
You need a little laughter every now and again in these trying times, and that's some of the games that people are not playing on this Tuesday. It's the bottom of the hour. The obscure holiday today was a no-brainer for me. It's a food-related one. It's National Chocolate-Covered Raisins Day. Here in North America, we refer to those as Raisinets. More than 1 million Raisinets are produced per hour. It's great popping in your mouth food when you go to the movies. It's probably associated with moviegoers as much as anything else. Now, of course, nobody is going to the movies. I like to do a little bit of popcorn and a little bit of Raisinets. Of course, Raisinets are an excellent source of calcium, potassium, iron, fiber, vitamin B. So you take the goodness of the raisins and you cover it with dark chocolate. And not only do you have a healthy snack, but it tastes pretty good too. National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day. I think I'll have some for breakfast when I get to breakfast. Today in history on this 24th day of March. We've mentioned this any number of occasions. Yes, the American Revolution had a lot to do with casting off the religious shackles that Great Britain had put on the Americans. We're here in North America. We're separated from the Atlantic Ocean, from the king, and we want to be our own country, and that was a lot of it. But again, a lot of it had to do with Britain just plain messing up. And on this date, 255 years ago in 1765, Great Britain passed the Quartering Act. What was the Quartering Act? It required the 13 colonies to house and feed British troops. Wasn't particularly popular. Yeah, not only are we going to, put our thumb down, but you got to feed us and house us as well. Man, Britain really messed that one up. Makes you wonder, thank God, if they were any smart at all, whether we would be still a British subject. Anyway, the Quartering Act was passed 255 years ago today. Everybody's seen the movie The Great Escape, I think. The actual Great Escape took place on this date, March 24th, 1944, 76 years ago today. The movie The Great Escape was a dramatization. It's about half truth and half made-up stuff, but it was on this date that 76 Allied prisoners of war began breaking out of Stalag Luft III, the German prisoner of war camp, and inspired the movie The Great Escape. The Great Escape is very entertaining. It is not a documentary. Remember that. But the actual event that inspired the movie took place on this date, 76 years ago today. Elvis got drafted on this date 62 years ago today. Hold up your hand and swear in, Elvis. You're done. You're now down to $18 a week as a private. He was originally scheduled to be inducted on January 20th, 1958. They were starting to make the movie King Creole, which would be his last movie before he went into the Army. And so he had to get a deferment from the draft because they'd already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on making this movie. He got one from the local Memphis Draft Board. They commenced filming. They finished filming, and on March 24th, 1958, 62 years ago today, Elvis began his year-and-a-half-long hitch in the U.S. Army. Remember the Exxon Valdez? Oops, that happened on this date 31 years ago today. The Valdez was carrying about 53 million gallons of oil. About 11 million of those gallons spilled into Prince William Sound in Alaska. Of course, the captain of the Exxon Valdez was blamed, said he was drunk at the helm. He was not. He sued. He won. He was stone cold sober. One of the mates was actually driving it. It would not have happened if the radar had been turned on, but not only was the radar not turned on, it hadn't been working for over a year. Exxon knew about it too. They just didn't bother to fix it. The Exxon Valdez oil spill happened on this day back in 1989, 31 years ago today. And 5 years ago today. His name is Andreas Lubitz. He was a co-pilot of Germanwings Flight 9525. He had suicidal tendencies. He went to his psychiatrist who said, "You are unfit to work." He decided not to tell his employers at Germanwings. The plane took off. The captain went to the bathroom. He locked the cockpit door, and he flew the airplane into the mountains. 150 people, all of them died in the mass suicide. Finally, 34 minutes after the hour, birthdays. Steve McQueen, the king of cool. Born in the state in 1930. Steve McQueen would be 90 years old. If he was alive today, he died of brain cancer at the age of 50 back in 1980. He's known for the movies he made, The Magnificent Seven, the aforementioned The Great Escape, The Cincinnati Kid, Bullet, The Towering Inferno, his last movie, The Hunter. But Steve McQueen turned down the lead roles in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. He was supposed to be in Apocalypse Now. He said no. He was originally offered Dirty Harry, which went to Clint Eastwood. He was supposed to be in A Bridge Too Far. He was offered the lead role in The French Connection. He was offered the lead role in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He turned them all down. He's as well known for the movies he did make as the movies that he did make. Steve McQueen, born in the state of 1930. A couple of Washington state legends celebrate their 73rd birthday. Dennis Erickson, born and raised in Everett, 73 years old. Of course, Began his career as the head coach of Idaho, moved on to Wyoming, then led the Cougars to a couple of really good years, went to Miami, won a national championship there, eventually returned to the college ranks and led Oregon State to a couple of good victories. Also was the head coach of the Seahawks and the 49ers, completely retired now. Dennis Erickson, 73 years old today. The 22nd governor of the state of Washington, Christine Gregoire, also 73 years old today. She was the governor of this state from 2005 to 2013, a graduate of the University of Washington and Gonzaga Law School. And happy 44th birthday to Peyton Manning. 14 years the quarterback of the Colts, 4 more years as the quarterback of the Broncos, 2 times the Super Bowl champion, 5 MVP awards, more than any other player in NFL history, 14 Pro Bowl appearances, more than any other player in NFL history, still holds a whole ton of records. Peyton Manning, 44 years old today. Going to take a break. Mike McNaughty has an opinion coming your way, and then we had a chance last week to sit down in a vacant Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center, my conversation with Ashley Sinner, and then a virtual tour of the Regional High School Art Show with Kasey, Koski. Our friends from the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center are up next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Did you know that nearly 50% of pet poisoning cases involve human medications and prescription drugs? Sometimes the culprit's a curious dog, but cats get into their share of trouble as well. Other times, pet owners mistakenly give their pets their own medications that are safe to people but toxic to their pets. Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff care about your pets. Go to pawsandclawsvh.com for a complete list of medications to avoid or call 888-PAWS.
RLS Productions is proud to bring to the NCW Life channel the Concerts in the Garden series held at Omi Gardens. The series features performances from Rare Earth's Peter Rivera, Heart by Heart, to Slim and the Taildraggers, The Infinity Project, the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, and a whole host of other great acts. Tune in Wednesdays at 2 and 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 10 p.m. RLS Productions Concerts in the Garden Summer Series, only on the NCW Life channel.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
It's going on 4 decades of doing business in the Wenatchee Valley. And I want people to know that it matters. It matters to me that people choose to do business with us. It matters that people trust us, trust us. That matters more than anything.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. No wonder women are angry, and no wonder they're speaking out. For far too long, we've ignored the fact that women have been abused and harassed at the hands of some men. And yes, maybe it's not you, but it's somebody. Official stats used to be that 1 in 4 women would be sexually assaulted to some degree by the time she graduated high school. But in reality, this statistic is far too conservative. But even accepting that it's 25% of women who suffer this abuse, isn't that conservative figure a justifiable explanation for why women are speaking out and demanding change? Of course it is. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCW Life.
Succession is leading the way for a new generation of Chelan wineries. Named Platinum Winemaker of the Year in 2017 and the one to watch in 2018 by Wine Press, Succession is setting the pace. Award-winning wines are just a part of the overall experience. Add live music on Sundays and fantastic views, and you have it all. Succession Wines, located on the north shore of Lake Chelan between Chelan and Manson.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz alongside Ashley Sinner. We're at the eerily quiet Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. They are just as affected by this COVID-19 outbreak as everybody else. Ashley is a regular contributor to the program. We are here for any multitude of reasons, but the first thing, obviously, Ashley, we want to talk to you about is you're closed.
Yeah, that's right. As of today, or I guess Tuesday, we are closed in cooperation with the state and local governments to try to help curtail the COVID-19 spread. So our museum and Wells House facilities are closed to the public, and we will reevaluate that going forward.
And this decision was somewhat forced upon you, but you were already in that thought process before the governor issued his declaration.
Yes, I feel like we've been meeting and talking about these things for weeks. And we had last week already canceled our upcoming programs and events and tours through April 5th. And we're planning to reevaluate the next set of things on the calendar. So we will keep the public informed on when we will be able to reopen, but we believe this is the right decision for the safety of the community.
And it makes perfect sense from a staff standpoint. How are they handling this? Because this place is usually teaming with people. You usually have field trips and the kids coming in and everything. Are you guys okay with this? What's going on? Or how you doing?
Well, I think we're in the same boat as everyone else. Yeah. Everyone is in this, social distancing thing.
That's why we're 6 feet apart here.
And so we just take it one day at a time. I think everyone knowing something was coming, but not sure when, and we're hoping to stay open to the public with some extra precautions, and then when the governor made the announcement Monday, we knew that it was time that,
Was the decision, did it boil down to Kenny Sturgeon's final call, or was it the board, or was it a group effort to say, okay, we have to do this?
I think we all kind of knew, but yeah, Kenny talked to the board and got approval, and then we went forward and sent out the announcement. Yeah.
So I guess the next question is, do you have provided that maybe after this 2-week moratorium, or it could be a little bit longer, do you have any idea where you might be open to the public again, hoping that everything works itself out, or you just have to play that by ear?
Yeah, we're just going to keep evaluating this situation. We will make announcements through our website and social media and newsletters about any changes coming up with either extending the closure or when we are able to reopen and bring the public in.
We were supposed to talk, Ashley and I, we had this pre-scheduled to talk about Night at the Museum, which of course is...
Yes, it is postponed. We do have a new date of May 30th, so you can save the date for now, and hopefully we'll be able to hold it then. And most of the vendors have already reached back out saying, yep, they're good to go on that date. So we're hopeful that we will be able to have that event then, and we're really excited about it. It's going to be fun. As
you probably have figured out, Ashley and I are sitting on the stage next to the historic pipe organ. Hopefully, if everything works out, there's going to be some remodeling and some expansion going on here, right?
That is right. I haven't even sent the press release out for that yet.
But it's in the hopper, correct?
That is right. We did get in the state budget for their supplemental budget this year, and we got some funding to completely remodel, to do a big remodel here in this community space to make it more usable and available to the public. So yeah, exciting.
I got ahead of you a little bit on her press release, and I apologize
No, it's okay.
for that. So outside of Night at the Museum, what other specific exhibitions or programs are either going to be postponed or not going to happen for the foreseeable future outside of Night at the Museum?
Yeah, our environmental films, some of them will be rescheduled. Hopefully most of them will be able to just be pushed back to when we can hold them. We're working on, while the facilities are closed, the staff is still working on-site and off-site, and one of the things we're trying to do is come up with ways to bring the museum to the community even during social distancing. So we're working on some digital content. We'll have some videos that kids can do makerspace projects with materials they have at home, and they can watch the project and learn how to do them, and some tour ideas that we have coming up. So we're still working on things here, and for any programs that they're either being rescheduled or canceled. We're rescheduling as much as possible, so we'll see where it all pans out in the end.
And to that, and there's a lot of unknowns, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of unknowns for everybody, so everybody's in the same boat here as far as that's concerned. To that end, there's another reason that we're down here. We're going to take a video virtual tour ourselves after we come back from the commercial break. What are the folks going to see?
Yeah, this year is the 41st annual high school art show, and it just recently opened to the public, and not everyone got a chance to come see all the high school art, and it's from the whole region, and we had awards and winners, and so we had been telling people, even though some of the events surrounding that had been canceled, that they'd still be able to come and see it, and then that changed. So we're happy to have you here today, and Kasey, our curator of exhibits, is going to take us on a tour so that everyone can see the wonderful art that the students have created.
And that's what we're going to do. When we come back, we're going to get together with Kasey, and Kasey's going to walk us through the 41st annual high school art competition.
Art show, yep.
Art show. Is this a judged show?
It is a judged competition, and the award winners go on to the state level over in Olympia. I'm not sure how we are as a state moving forward with that, but maybe Kasey knows a little bit more. I have a feeling we're still playing that by ear. So
as we all are.
Yeah.
Life right now is being ad-libbed.
And maybe it'll be a digital show. I don't know how it will be.
Okay. So when we come back, we're going to take a virtual video tour because, well, under this day and age and the times we live in, this is the best we can do right now. We're at the
And that's pretty awesome that we can do it. Yeah.
I feel special for coming into a closed facility to do this. So we're going to do that when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. We'll be right back. Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
We're sorry we missed you when the KPQ Home Expo was suspended last week, but we fully understand that the safety of the community comes first. These local businesses look forward to seeing you when the Home Expo is rescheduled or anytime you may need their services. Clean Connection, Osteo Strong, Apple Valley Pumping, Black Rock Asphalt Services, Swim World, Alpine Roofing, Berkshire Hathaway, A&G Brothers General Construction, and Steel Structures of America.
Welcome to the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. Currently, we're hosting the 41st Annual Regional High School Art Show. This art show includes students from all of ESD 171 here in North Central Washington, and essentially that is the Wenatchee Valley area, all the way north up to the Canadian border. So we have about 190 pieces of artwork from 15 different schools in our area. So we're going to take a little look around the gallery and maybe show you some of the award-winning pieces. So we judge this show in 7 different categories. Those categories are 3-dimensional work, digital arts, drawing, mixed media, painting, photography, and printmaking. And there are also some Best of Show awards, which means those pieces that will travel on to represent our ESD at the state level. Now, with everything that's going on, there may be also some changes to the format of that art show, but details are yet to come to light. So on this side of the gallery, we start with some of our photography pieces, and of course there's 3D scattered throughout. Our first place in the photography category and a Best of Show piece that would be honored at the state level is here in front of us. It's called Depictions of Lunacy by Kaylee Bauer of Eastmont High School. And it's a triptych, which means it's 3 separate pieces entered as one. So in this corner of the gallery, we have a grouping of our pieces that are mixed media. There is even one that was made by an Okanagan school student that's going to be installed on their school grounds eventually. So the 3D category, or 3-dimensional artwork category, includes all forms of sculpture. We have sculptures that are made of everything from ceramics to paper. It also includes some jewelry pieces this year. We've got some really interesting pieces, like, of course, the one we saw a minute ago that was made of metal, some that are made of different types of foam and other types of sculpting materials. So in the 3-dimensional category, just about anything goes. This piece actually just won our 2nd and final week of People's Choice Award. It's called American Totem, and it was by a Wenatchee High School student. Her name is Leila Fisher. She chose to make a sculpture purely out of trash. And I think the name really adds quite a lot to the meaning that she intended. So we have 2 pieces on this wall that had taken some awards. There are 2 really fascinating drawings here. One of them received a 2nd place in drawing, as well as a Best of Show, and the other one is a People's Choice Award winner again this week. Drawing's a very popular category, and we've had about 45 different drawings submitted to choose from. I think it's interesting in this series of portraits here on this wall that there are a couple that appear to be from a very similar assignment. You know, maybe one class at a certain school has to do an assignment based on very much positive and negative shapes, or that high contrast lighting, and it has to be a portrait. So there are 3 that appear to me to be from the same assignment. So this is kind of our last grouping of drawings here that were submitted. In all sorts of different materials. Some people choose to use scratch board, some are in charcoal or pencil, some are in colored pencil. Makes for such an interesting variety. So this wall over here has our submissions in digital art. Digital art can encompass a lot of different things. In years past, we've had videos, we've also had 3D printed work, but all of the examples here this year were created using the assistance of a computer in some way, shape, or form. Along the back wall, we have our grouping of paintings. There'll be a couple of different award-winning pieces in here. One of them I also misplaced while hanging, and it was a winner in the mixed media category, but was hung with the paintings, so my fault, sometimes that happens. We'll also see some more of the three-dimensional category in this grouping. So our last grouping, last category that we drew in was the print category, printmaking. It's a technique that has many possible ways of producing a piece of artwork. It's a really small group. We only had 4. Our bright blue wall here as you enter, I always have to sort of pick a theme, not so much based on the categories. This year we had a lot of portraits, and so there's a variety of portraits that I thought were all quite fascinating. Here, hung on this main entry wall, it's sort of the first one that you see when you come in, so kind of as our parting shot, there's a couple of winners along the wall and a few other just very beautiful portraits. I'd like to say thank you to all the teachers and students who've participated this year. I'm so sorry that you can't come and see the show. It's quite lovely, and we enjoy hosting the show every single year. It's museum staff's, I think, favorite exhibit every single year. So thank you for your hard work and contributing, and I hope with all the free time, maybe some of you are making art.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma, and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
Couple minutes to go on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Let's take a look at your weather forecast one more time from the National Weather Service. Do have a chance of rain this afternoon, about a 40% chance of some sprinkles anyway. It would be in the afternoon if it happens at all. Outside of that, partly sunny skies will top off about 55 degrees. 32 for the overnight low. That is below normal expected tonight. Wednesday and Thursday, quite a bit of sunshine. Temperatures a little bit below normal. But we'll take the sunshine, so if you can have a chance to get out and at least get a little bit of sunshine and practice social distancing while you breathe in some fresh air, please do so. Anytime, really, but Wednesday and Thursday looks pretty good. Next wave of the systems that are paying us a visit comes in on Friday. Again, the word I'm using is unsettled. Friday, we'll have quite a bit of cloud cover, although no precipitation in the forecast, with a high of about 57 degrees. Saturday, lots of clouds, high of about 59. Can't rule out some rain. Even the possibility of a stray snowflake Friday night into Saturday morning, I kid you not. And then we warm up Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but we're not going to see a great deal of sunshine with the intermittent occasional raindrops. So that's a look at your forecast. Right now, they've taken the restrictions off I-90, Snoqualmie Pass, you're good to go. It quit snowing. Still traction tires advised on Stevens. They're expecting just a little bit of light snow today, so traction tires are advised on Stevens. No advisories or restrictions on either Snoqualmie Pass or Blewett Pass. My guest tomorrow via Skype, no more in-studio interviews for a while, will be Leslie Freitag from the Pybus Public Market. If you're stuck at home, Keep it locked on the NCW Live channel. Have a good and safe Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.